One, a two, a three, and we are live with episode 80.
What?
Empire. I know, right? And I'm gonna ask who's gonna do this catch up because it's been 2 weeks since we played, and I know it's gonna be a bit of a nightmare.
We fought some squid.
Do it.
We got nothing and magic items as a reward, and we went home.
Well, is that my fault though?
We teleported Nanny in a maze.
We got a level up, didn't we?
Yeah. What more do you want, eh?
No, we haven't had a level up in a
Got a
long
level
time.
Oh yeah, it's been a few good few
Oh
months.
yeah.
I don't even remember what that word means. Level up.
No.
Level up. What? Laneros and Owen started researching. I can't remember what they started researching there.
Neither can Owen.
I think Liam
Laneros
do
is not here to
that.
help. We are on the 22nd.
I assume we was researching. No,
Right.
I thought if I started the sentence,
Oh,
then
yeah,
my
you went to
brain
the
would kick
library.
into gear, but it did not work.
Alright, so Laneros began researching the Grey Warden family because his next quest was probably to talk to
Bullshit.
talk to Nadina Grey Warden in an attempt to prevent any war in the northwest while you guys were trying to deal with this problem with the King in Yellow arriving on the material plane.
Why did you sound like Richard Iowade in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place when you said
King
that?
in yellow.
Prevent war.
Did I?
Oh, prevent the war.
Open the door, Sanj.
Open the door.
I don't think I
Anyway, yes, and I believe he did a little bit of research on the family, and I mentioned a lot about Grildar earning the forever ire of the noble family, and that was probably why the reason they joined the God King's son instead of staying with the new Nerian alliance. Elzef bought a scroll of locate objects so that she could find the skull, and I believe
I was
she...
massively scammed on the prize.
You were massively scammed on the price, I will give you that. And I believe she'd even enlisted, I think it was Orwin's help, wasn't it, to go teleport there and
Yeah,
back.
that was the plan.
Yes.
Other than that, I think... What did Maisie get up to? I can't quite recall.
She was going to go and see if she can find anything about Chester. So she was on her way to his estate, despite the fact that she'd been warned that he probably wasn't there.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
So she was currently en route.
Yeah, okay, so...
Particularly mad at the time as well, still.
She was what, sorry?
Oh no, she wasn't particularly mad. I know where she was now. She was particularly charitable.
She's definitely always mad.
Yeah, and I do believe we'll begin with Maisie then. So Maisie, as you approach Chester's estate in the Injuly Valley, you see a rather empty-looking estate, but with the gates open. Inside, you see what remains of tents, just kind of piled in one corner. The door's open, and you see a rather brutish-looking man with short, close-cropped black hair standing by the door. He comes out with a basket on one arm and a crate on the other, and he seems to be loading it into a wagon. You see that there's a big sword in a leather sheath on his back, and as you approach, he stops, sees you, and then crosses his big, huge arms across his chest, and you can see he has several scars across his face. Yeah, how can I help you?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm so sorry to bother you. I don't suppose you know where Chester is, or if Chester's home?
I'm afraid I don't know where he is, and I'm sorry about that. But I've got to be going. And he kind of rushes, walks up into the house, in which you looking, and you can see that it's dark, and it's been slept in and used, but there's not much in the way of furniture or, furnishings. And then he comes back up with another crate full of food, and he puts it on the back.
Excuse me, I do believe this house belongs to someone. If you say he's not here, then why are you helping himself to the wares of the internal contents?
Well, we were friends, and I just thought, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge, and I thought I'd take some supplies while I do that.
Well, has he agreed?
I'm sure he wouldn't mind. I mean, he didn't save my life, but him slowing down the process did save my life.
And you repay him by taking his wares. Explain yourself. Who are you?
Look, lady, this stuff has been here since he left before the Battle of the Bloody Oranges. I mean, I procured it myself at that point in time.
You have not answered my question, good sir, and I'm half of mine to go to the House of Answers right now.
Go on then. By the time you get back, I'm gone.
So, are you going to reveal yourself? Or does this need to get ugly?
Who are you?
I know spells now, you know. I can make things very cold very quickly.
Huh. Who are you?
Maisie. His fiancée. So I think I have a say to at least half of the internal contents of that house.
His eyes kind of trace, and he says, "Wait, the Maisie? Wait, the one that he was trying to save?"
That's right.
Oh,
I think you did a particularly stellar job of it.
Why didn't you say so? He reaches forward to shake your hand.
Charmed.
I'm Darioso.
Pleasure's all mine, I guess. How do
Yeah.
you know Chester?
We fought beside one another for a long time.
So he would be okay with you being here.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hiding out here for a while now.
Don't suppose you know where he is, do you? I came here to, in my own words, or the words of me that doesn't seem quite me. I'm getting a little bit unnerved by that. But I came here anyway to cut his dick off.
Well, in that case, I don't know where he is. But I honestly, Maisie, I don't know where he is. While I was hiding out here, perhaps a week back, I did think I heard him outside. I couldn't see him.
Thank you. It's comforting to know he was here. Honestly, you think someone would have at least had an inkling in a city where they literally have statues of him up.
Oh yeah, that fucking statue, right? You know, that's the point where I died.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, how thrilling. I'd love to hear about it sometime.
Yeah, well, I'm getting out of here.
Oh wait, before you go, please. Anywhere you might think I could find out where he may be?
But he was good friends with that dwarf, right? That Gwendeth.
Oh yes. I don't think I've heard that name before.
Friend, really?
He sounds like a very strong man.
Well, that's how I met
Sorry.
Chester. You know, it was through Gwendeth. They used to, like, party, drink, and play games, and get drunk.
Sounds interesting.
Not in that way, though. Like, don't get jealous or anything. They weren't, like, romantically attached. If anything, that was George and Gwendeth.
Oh yeah, I think Chester's straight.
Gwendeth's a girl, I think.
Oh, sorry. It's such a masculine and gruff name.
Is it?
I just assumed. I'm really sorry.
Well, yeah. Well, if you'd seen her, no doubt. Anyway, it was a pleasure to meet you, Maisie.
wait.
I mean,
There must be somewhere I can find this Gwendeth. You mentioned their name.
I have
Are
no
they in
idea.
the city?
No, she. Well, I don't really know. The last I saw of her, she had kind of ditched us at Port Phobos, and then I was chucked out of the crew, so I haven't seen her. No.
Port Phobos down the road by the beach.
You do remember you were there like a week ago.
Oh, but that's miles away.
Yeah, it's quite far. He keeps pushing and pushing, and he's trying to like leave.
Yeah, she does not get that hint at all.
Yeah.
Please, any allies or anyone? Maybe someone who knows what goes on in the city. I am so desperate.
What about that? What about Macro? Have you spoken to him?
You think Macra will know?
He was close with Chester.
Was he? Oh. Well, I'll go and ask him then.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I know where he is right now.
Yeah, and do me a favour.
Yes.
When you see the big fella, try to keep it stum that, you know, I was here, or I am still in the city. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. Partying up with them lot was probably the worst thing I ever did.
Oh,
I'm
really?
getting out
I
of
found it perfectly splendid.
Yeah, give it time.
Alright. Well, I think they're perfectly heroic. And anyway, a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Darioso. I wish you the speediest of endeavours, especially with all my husband's food. Adieu.
Yeah, see you later.
Darioso making us get away into the next
Was the
campaign.
last time we saw Darioso was when we got teleported by the Rakshasa?
Yeah, just before that, you saw him go down with the scaffolding. Remember, he wanted to finish off Vivian before she went full Void Soul.
But he escaped. We knew that. I feel like we
Void.
thought that like 10 sessions
Who
ago.
worries about them nowadays?
Yeah, you did find out about like 3-4 months back after you got back from the Feywild that he had survived or had been resurrected by somebody. Yeah.
Didn't he lose like an arm? Am I just imagining that?
It looks like he's got both arms now.
Okay.
So, upon the advice of someone that she seemingly trusts, she's going to go back to Macra.
I believe
Well,
Macro.
Also, slightly miffed because Macra hasn't told her yet what she wants to know.
Yeah, well, Macro, I believe, had gone back to Shidell for a while.
Yeah. And also pretty sure he said to Maisie that I wouldn't find Chester at his house.
You did get 2 pieces of advice though. Ask Makra, he'll know, and don't get involved with Makra.
Yeah, she got that last bit.
Alright, so after Maisie leaves, Ulwyn, what were you up to?
Macro's at Shadal or if he's at the workshop. He's one or the other.
At the
God,
time,
Inside's getting on my tits.
last we was at, I was with Lineros doing the research.
That was true. So we'll go over to Elzef. Elzef. So you just bought the scroll, you were preparing. I think you were actually trying to find the 2 magic casters, weren't you? Or something like that.
Well, Owen seems to be busy, so I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to go to a bank
Okay.
that also has a branch in Atlantia.
Nice.
Okay. Yep. So it takes a while, but you do, by asking around some of the guilds, especially, let me go to this, especially stuff like the Satin Empire, talking to the one of Amaril's secretaries, a short, stocky gnome who points you in the right direction until you find the Mithril Triumvirate, a set of 3 dwarven blacksmiths who say that they have dealings in Atlantia, and then point you towards one of their associates. And eventually, it's a big old walk around. You come back to the Moonlit Shield, the monolith in the middle of Mokhul City, or New Nerian City, and you come up to the Admiral Kane Chambers, the man that sits in the council as the main ambassador from Longinia, from the Bretonnian Empire. And he turns and says, it's, yes. Aha, it's, Elzef of Sea's End, isn't it? Yes. It's you. How could I help you help you?
I'm confused why we're sent to you. I was looking for an Atlantean ambassador, if anything, but I want to ship something to Atlantia.
Yes.
And then
yes.
have it stored in a vault. With
That-
specific instructions.
That could be done. Yes, Atlantia has... We have very good connections with Atlantia. Atlantia, I'm afraid, does not have an embassy outside of the Minion Islands. They're not that interested in the rest of the world. They're a city-state.
Well, you're thankful that we killed the God King and all, aren't you? So
Yes, with our help, of course.
I mean, I don't remember you specifically being there when we
But
incinerated it.
we invaded gloriously. We stormed the
That is true.
beaches.
You did fuck up Shire Dell pretty bad. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive that you dealt with that trash heap. So basically, it's a coffin. And I'm gonna be inside that coffin.
Oh.
A clone of me.
Oh. Yes, clone.
And I want the coffin with the clone
Yes.
to be stored in a vault with the key to the vault in the vault. So obviously once I am the clone, I can get out of the vault.
Yes, I'm listening. Yes, got it.
Do you really get it? Because it sounds like you're not listening.
No, yes, I'm listening. You want your clone with a key in a coffin inside a vault, but you have the key to the coffin and the vault.
Well, I don't think the coffin needs a key.
Oh, you don't want to lock it?
I guess we could also lock the coffin.
No. Okay, well, I have ships. Me, yes, being the admiral, have ships that go to Atlantia. So that's not a problem. I can transport that. Instantly? Nay. Over time? Definitely. For a price.
Oh, as long as the coffin is also in transit when shit goes down here in 60 days, no problem. I just want the clone to be far away when things here get bad.
Yes, why wouldn't you? Of course. Yes.
So name me your price.
I don't have to, well, I guess it's not that far out of my way. I have a few ships going back and forward already. It depends. Would the president there in mind? Well, he doesn't have to know. Yes, of course. 500 gold pieces.
Oh, that's a good price. Yeah, sure, let's do that.
I'd have it delivered to the docks in Avbu Avenue tomorrow.
I guess I'll go make a coffin. I'll be on that.
Okay, well, yes, I can do that.
Oh no, this was much easier than I thought it would be. Thank you.
No problem. I actually thought you wanted something different. Oh. Phew.
What did you think I wanted?
Nothing. And he begins to turn around to walk away, like back into the monolith. You can notice, at that point, you notice there's a lot of Longinian presence at the moment. A lot of soldiers in their blue uniforms going about with long rifles in their hands, some spears. And you notice that you see there's also more of a scholarly-looking Longinian woman, a Triton. She's walking back and forward, talking to some other students. And she's got a spellbook in her hand. And she's like, talking in common. Currently, you can't hear what she's saying to her three students, but they all seem to be like taking gear into the monolith.
Also, Elflef is currently like thinking about how much she cares about this, or the continued existence of the Mokhul of the city. But she doesn't really. So she's like, "I'll get the coffin ready."
Yes, of course. I seem to have already forgotten about you. As he was talking to the Triton, and he turns around. Yes, tomorrow.
And remember, I have the best workshop in Longinia if you ever need anything made.
The Triton gives him an order, the Admiral, and he says, "Oh, yes, Miss Goldtide, of course," and walks off into the monolith.
Should I tell someone about this? Who gives a shit? And Elsef goes shopping for coffin material.
Okay.
And it's just wood, I'm guessing, so I'm not gonna... we don't have to roleplay that out.
No. Alright, we'll go over to Makra then and see if we can actually hear you, Curtis, and see what you want to do.
Wishful thinking. I don't think there's anything in particular showed up. I guess he's helping out with like the building projects and stuff they're doing. He's not really got a lot to do with his time. he's splitting it between helping there and then annoying Alseth in the workshop and like not mind mapping. What is it called? Brainstorming with her on armor ideas. He's kind of stuck for things to do. He's waiting for the smart people to tell him what to do, basically, in preparation of the defense of the city.
Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough. Yeah, obviously, you and Barkabus are going about doing the usual stuff. Slowly but surely, Shardell, over the last week that you were gone, now has its own palisade. The stairwell that leads up the cliffside in the north and northwestern side of Shardell still leads up onto the main market square where you can see the statue of Chester. However, they've built like a small palisade around the lower side of the cliff, and some of the buildings that have been built inside are now not built out of like sandstone, but more out of wood. And it's turning into a right little kind of, not war camp, that's the wrong word. Like definitely turning into some sort of like small fortress. And Barkabus,
Like Motte and Bailey.
has, oh yeah, kind of, but without the Bailey. And has given you the actual citizens here, kind of like lessons. You know, he's retired, he's a veteran just like you. And alongside your sister, they seem to be training most of the kind of young fightable age here how to fight. The money that you left went a long way. It's a lot of gold. They've got arrows, crossbows, crossbows, spears, shields. You see Barkabus at one point when you're on, goes, and I've got this! And he just reveals the trebuchet. Got no ammo yet, though, but I got it.
Yeah. We can use rubble from when this place gets knocked to a million pieces. I reckon we should... I think what we kind of want to do with this place is deflect a lot of the spear point damage that's coming towards into the city instead. Just make us look like a really unappealing target, so they go and attack the rich people instead.
I mean, that's what I've gone for. I mean, look, this is bristling like an adamantoise shell. This place, they're not going to want to take it. That's for sure. Unless they got fire. But I made a deal. Some of the university students are going to practice their glyphs on our walls.
Good idea.
Now it's like, you know, like old and stuff.
Some kind of moat as well. Well, not moat, but like...
I tried this. Yeah, so digging from the sand over here, so we got a channel, right? And the channel comes from the sea, obviously, from the spears. It don't really work, I'm afraid.
Yeah, maybe not fill it with water, but just fill it with spikes instead.
Oh.
Just make it so it's really hot, because they're coming out of the water anyway, aren't they? So maybe if we just do a big dip with spikes at the bottom.
Got it. No, that's a good idea. Of course, Macra.
Yeah,
spikes.
Drawbridge from the beach. That'll work.
Yeah. Alright, so the construction project gets underway, like, almost that afternoon.
Macra massively half-arsing all of this and just spending most of the day drinking as well.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so we go over to Alwyn. In the library, in the afternoon's research, you notice that Lineros, because I'm going to take over Arne because he's here. He's also got an item out on the desk that you didn't realise he had. And he seems to be also studying that as well as studying other things about. He's trying to find like old history, like any old cults or relevance to the King in Yellow or any like void creatures. But this crystal ball with bronze inlay moves ever so slightly, and he seems to be moving it back, and like it's like it seems to be some sort of game or puzzle, and he seems to be moving it and fixing shapes like into one another, and then when it begins moving again, he like opens it up, begins moving it, and you see he's got like a small notepad on the movements of the actual ball and how these concentric shapes fit. And he mentions to you personally, he says, "This thing is powerful, and at some point I was going to mention it to the group as a whole. However, with the world ending and things, it's not been forward on my mind, but now I have begun to think that perhaps whatever lies within this may be of use to us. Say, I don't know for sure, but say there are powerful artifacts in here that could help us defeat whatever's coming. Would it be worth our time invested to probably use this? I don't want to be the one to decide.
I suppose it might do, but what do you mean with powerful artifacts inside? Some kind of chest or something, is it?
I've identified what it is some time ago. It's a key. It's almost a gate, actually, and a key at the same time. The key was solving the puzzle that leads to another realm.
Right. Do you know which realm it is?
It's one created by Mistra herself. A vault of some sort. However, once we're in there, I cannot guarantee there will not be traps or deadly encounters. Would it be worth our effort to defeat these and claim whatever's inside? Or would it not
If you believe it was directly made by Mistra herself, then, well, it could be all sorts in there. It could be something very interesting indeed. Well worth exploring, I would have thought.
Maybe we should take this up with the group as a whole before we decide to continue with this course of action.
Yeah, maybe. Might be best if we decide between ourselves, to be honest. I mean, Macrar is not going to have a bloody clue about... Well, he'll say yes because there's potential treasure involved, so he's a goer. Maisie, I don't really know what to think of her recently, to be honest. She's gone kind of strange with, all these kind of changing personalities that she has. And, well, Elseth, she's just miserable recently, so who knows what she's going to think about it.
He nods thoughtfully. I'm going to roll a check for him, a history check, to see if he actually has found anything out. You can roll one as well if you want.
I will do. Oh.
So you find small tidbits of knowledge about a possible figure in yellow. There is an old folk tale from the people of Lesser Midgard, the Nords, about a shepherd robed in pale yellow that helped them war against the people of Rhineland. There's like a kind of like a fairy tale-esque to it. And how the leader of this group of raiders was basically betrayed by this shepherd, who he thought in his story was Odin, but it wasn't. And he was betrayed, and all of his raiders were left on an island and eaten by Yuan-Ti. Doesn't end very well, but there is a mention briefly there that makes both you and Lanirus think that perhaps that may be the presence of what you are currently looking at in the sky. Not currently in the day. It seems to be that you can only see this yellow star as the evening approaches.
Yep.
Other than that, that's all you kind of find out for the rest of the afternoon.
Right. Well, speaking of Elseth, actually, I think she did want something from me to travel somewhere, so as we're probably done here, I'll leave you to finish up and I'll go help her out.
He nods.
I suppose once we're back, we can decide what we're going to do with your little orb from Mistra.
Yes.
Right. I'll see you later, Lanirus.
Yes, no problem. I will continue reading.
I'll head off to wherever we set out from, which I think was Gwandia's shop.
Mm-hmm. Right, yep, you head to Gwandia's shop. I guess later on that evening... Maisie, actually, what was Maisie doing? Finding Macrar, right?
Yep. I think she knew he was in Shire, to be fair, so she's probably heading back there.
You do manage to catch up to him in the midst of day drinking and also construction.
Good Macrar. Macrar.
Aye.
Hey, yeah, sorry. Look, I just had an interesting conversation with a Darioso. Said you knew him.
That fucker's alive. Where is he?
Oh, he's up at Chester's house. Said that he was off somewhere and that he would be back to see you in a month.
Yeah, fuck that. Macrar starts walking up towards Chester's house.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Liam.
Yeah, that's right. It just sounds like you're breathing down the microphone, that's all.
Who, me?
Yeah, I know. I thought that's what you're
Let me
apologising
try
for.
and rearrange it. Hang on.
No.
Let's go here.
Alright.
But yeah, so Macro, as he's walking away, looks behind his shoulder. Go on, then. What did you want?
Well, he said that you might know where Chester's gone.
Kit knows where Chester's gone. Does Macro? Don't think they ever told him.
No.
I don't think we know, do we?
If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
I'm pretty sure he might have been going on an adventure somewhere with the dwarf, but I'm not 100% sure where he went. He kind of just left us in the lurch with and left you with us to look after you.
Right, so he's unlikely in the city then.
Oh yeah, most likely not. Unless he's back now, but I can't imagine he would be yet. We were pretty quick with my whole thing, weren't we?
Very well.
5
I
days.
guess stick with you for a bit. See where we end up. I might do some charity work while we're here. Good luck finding him.
See you in a bit.
As he leaves.
Yeah, so Macro, Chester's estate empty by the time you get there. No sign.
Macro activates his ancestral ability to track shit, and by that he looks to see if he can find where he's gone and follow his scent or some shit. I'll just not make a roll and roll 20 then. That'd have been silly.
Alright, yeah, you can make
I don't have any
a...
spells to help with this shit now.
I guess an investigation check, because you're in the city, you're not survival.
I need. I've got find familiar. I need cast find familiar now. That'd have been quite useful. Investigation is not his strong suit. Is there anything to help him? Any spells? No. Alright, I'll do an investigation. Sherlock Holmes then. He'll enter his mind palace. Oh, guess what Kurt didn't do as well? His skills after Liam told him to. Investigation's not
Oh,
on
shit.
anyway. Oh, that's a good roll.
Yeah, okay, so you find
Well, that was-
you find wagon wheel tracks and you follow them all the way past the place where the Battle of the Bloody Oranges took place, and then down into the main road that follows the cliff sides, down past back where you came from, up into Interlie Valley and down and round, and then they kind of mix with most of the other carriage kind of marks all along the roads. However, can you make a perception check?
Probably not.
You're looking around, and you think you see him, a big brawny man. And as you approach, and you watch from about 10 feet behind, this man turns. It's definitely not Darioso. He turns, revealing that he's about the same height, but a little bit scrawnier. He definitely headed down into the docks right near Shidell. You can see a few skiffs and barges docked to your right.
Well, there'll be a dockmaster in Shardal, like knowing that.
Not really. It's just a bunch of stone and wooden wharves that merchants just dock at, and it's cheap. I mean, no one at the moment.
You find someone that's not completely inebriated that's sitting on like the road or something, like a beggar or something.
Yeah, this.
And he's going to hope that it's like John Wick and flex him a gold coin and hope that he's actually really observant of it. Seen a really big human.
Right, so you flick
We have a wagon.
You flick this coin towards what looks like is a tiefling with kind of like vivid red skin, and she's huddled up in cloth, shaking slightly, despite the heat. You flick a gold coin. She looks down at it. You see a hand snake out from the cloth, grab it, and then she looks up. And there's just something in her eyes and in her face that's recognisable. The tattoos. You can't quite remember where from, and then she looks up, and she shies away from you.
Do I recognise a tiefling with bright red skin? I feel like we've dealt with a tiefling with bright red skin before, but I can't remember who that is. If that one's useless, then he'll go try to find another one then.
She's just looking up at you expectantly, waiting for you to speak.
Right, I already said it, but it was also the internet has been shit. Have you seen a really bulky human with a wagon?
Maybe.
And he describes Darius to the best of his ability, which is probably limited.
Perhaps.
Which way did he go?
She juts her chin towards one of the boats. The boat's like docked maybe about 10 feet out. I saw a man dock there and pick up a brawny man of your description. You mean
And they've already gone.
shorn black hair and big sword?
Yeah, that's him.
Can you make a perception?
So they've already gone.
Can you make a perception check?
But I'll make it roll 20 again. That's going to get confusing. That's flicking
Right, give me a second.
13.
Alright, so at that moment, she leaps forward and you see a gauntlet. She draws something from under the gauntlet and goes to slash you. You catch her wrist. And she just stares at you.
Oh,
and you look up to see a knife in her hand. And she just glares at you.
Rude.
And you do see tears welling in her eyes.
Is there much strength in her, or can I just like disarm her fairly?
Not much at all. And then she's
I'll
kind of
just disarm
like,
her fairly.
yeah, you just twist her wrist and the knife clatters to the dog. She goes, "He's dead because of you!" And then she begins to struggle slightly, but not with much strength or conviction.
Yeah, I vaguely remember you, but not quite.
She spits in your face.
That was rude. Kind of like just grabs a bundle of the cloth that she was wrapped in and wipes his face with it, and then just kind of like takes her legs from underneath her, puts her on the floor.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't fight much.
I guess he takes a step back, throws her like 5 more pieces of gold, and then it makes his way if Darius has already gone.
Yep, as you walk off, you can hear crying coming from her. As you walk towards the boat, you see a captain of this small skiff. He's looks like of like kind of Atlantean descent. You know, that kind of that deeply tanned sailor's skin that's almost leathery. He's bald with a few scraggly scars on the top of his head, and half of his ear missing, but the other one's filled with golden rings. Yeah, what can I do for you, bugbear?
Hey up, I'm after a really bulky human, big sword, shorn black hair.
Yeah? Not be that of me, eh?
Has he been this way?
Maybe. But say such an individual doesn't actually want to be seen. Maybe somebody's told me to tell you to fuck off looking.
That'd be rude, I guess.
Seems to be your catchphrase today, doesn't it?
Yeah, seems like I'm being introduced into a lot of rude people.
I
Weird how you know that.
do know of the man that ye speak of, but ye say ye do not want to speak to you. Not at all. Bad luck you
Yeah,
are.
I gathered that.
Like a black pearl.
Yeah, I guess we do have that effect on people. We always seem make out okay though.
At that moment, a heavy hand
well,
lands on the
If he's interested.
a heavy hand lands on the captain's shoulder, pushes him aside. What do you want?
Hey up, big man. Where are you off?
Home. Nasia.
Ah, okay. Were you just tied to Vivian or to the Void Soul?
I was what?
Were you tied to just Vivian or to the Void Soul itself?
Vivian. I was friends with her.
Ah, okay.
I was friends with her dad. I made a promise. Now she's gone. That promise is done.
Fair enough. It was just that we've got the new Void Soul with us. I was just wondering if that's interesting.
Don't give a fuck.
Fair enough then. What are you doing when you go back home?
I've got great grandkids that I need to see. Probably great grandkids now. You know, visit some graves of my old friends. I ain't seen my friend Ovnir ever since he died, so it'd be nice to go at least see where he's interred. You know. That's the thing about living forever. Everyone just seems to fucking die. Especially the ones you liked.
But yeah. Bit of an issue. Well, there'll be a lot more of us you won't have to worry about soon then, because the city's about to hit the shit fan.
Yeah, I know, right? He points towards the sky. When that lands, I want to be somewhere that I want to be, you know? I don't want to be in this shit heap. No offense to your city, my people ain't here.
Oh, it's completely not shitty. No, fair enough then. Have safe travel back. Let us know if you need anything.
Yeah, and if
Been a pleasure.
it means anything, I hope you lot and all of your friends survive, or manage to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, it means a bit. At least you managed to get out of the end of it alive.
Or what I've got left. Anyway, see you later.
See you in a bit. Macaron makes his way.
Okay. Does anyone want to do anything before we end the evening?
Take Elseth wherever she wants to go.
Oh,
Hey.
so you do find Elzef in her workshop, building a coffin of all things.
It's like a nice coffin. Well, she's not building as much as casting Fabricate to make it because she sort of has a 1-day deadline, doesn't she?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
You are changing up your business practices.
I'm just making a coffin for myself.
Right. Well, guess it's proactive. You wanted to go somewhere.
Oh yeah, let's teleport to that mountain, get that skull, and get rich.
I don't think we'll be getting rich off it, but yeah, I'll take you there. You ready?
Sure, we can pawn it to some religious folks for a price.
Whatever you like.
Just don't tell the Neros. I probably want to gift it to them.
Who knows? But are you ready? to
Macaron's
go?
gonna be fuming.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to go.
It's getting a bit late, so we should head off now.
Cool. So you guys using the teleport spell to get back to the mountain in the north, right? In the north of the Crystal
Yeah.
Ways.
Well, we
Cool.
drop down the skull cliff.
Alright, so I guess you took a part of the totem, didn't you, Orwin? So you could
I
just get
did.
there instantly. Right, yeah, so it's not much of a hassle, obviously. You teleport straight there, and immediately, because it's evening time, and it's the north of the Crystal Waste, there's a slight darkness hanging over the Crystal Waste down below you, all around you, and immediately you've gone from the heat of the Nunerian city to the chill of the mountain air. And around you, it's just as you left it, there's a slight hole about 30 feet from you where you had dug down. And ahead of you, you can see the Crystal Wastes spread out over the horizon. Miles and miles and miles of glittering white desert with small mountains bisecting the middle of it.
Right. Make it quick, would you? It's bloody cold here.
Well, Elsa flies down a bit with her boots on the side of the cliff where she dropped the skull to the point where she gets to like the next, even area.
Mm-hmm.
And then she casts Locate Object.
Locate object, and I'm assuming you're looking for the skull.
You assume correctly.
Aha. Alright, so as you cast it, you get a ding perhaps 800 feet below you.
I will be back in a few minutes, though, and Elsa starts flying down.
Yeah, I'll wait here for you. I'll start myself a little fire up the top, keep warm.
Alright, yeah, cool. So, Elsa, if you fly down, and can you make a perception check?
Sure, use inspiration.
Cool.
I want this fucking skull limb. You did not roll, I pressed it.
Oh, the fucking thing has rolled for the verbs. Oh my god, that's terrible.
That is terrible.
Alright, so as you are looking around, down through these pine trees sticking out
Please
of
tell me she kicks it over another cliff. That would be
the
amazing.
mountainside, you land. The thing is, the spell is the spell. I mean, the spell does what it says. I mean, it leads you to the item. However, you do fail to see the 12-foot tall humanoid figure lurking in the trees to your left before it stands in front of your way, perhaps about 5 foot. It has a greatsword in its hand, and great white angelic wings unfurl behind it. It wears a helm of Nord make, with great wings that unfurl from the side of that in steel from the horn helm. And he wears a breastplate of glittering gold, and the sword has jewels on it. And so before I do this, I've got a verb thing installed as a module on Foundry, right? And it adds a random descriptor, not verb. It adds a random descriptor to any NPC, and it's rolled something really weird for this, but I'm going to roleplay it anyway.
As you should.
And immediately as he
Also,
stands
bring back
there,
the happy skeleton or whatever it was from before.
No. And yeah, he begins to speak. So, you're Elzeth.
Really?
My reputation precedes me.
I heard that you kicked the skull of one of our national heroes down the cliffside. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah, but I came to get it back.
Couple days too late, though. He's been wallowing in the mud around here. And my god sent me down here to guard it. As it's an artifact. Have you come back to collect it?
I was going to return it to a church or something. Well, they would appreciate it.
He takes his helmet off, revealing a green bald head. He's got kind of greenish skin. The Planetar then begins to continue. You're going to take it to a church? Can you roll deception?
Oh, she is going to do it. She's going to sell it to one.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
There's no lie there.
Yeah, roll persuasion then.
This is all equally awful,
Just so you know, I rolled glamorous.
Nope.
On it. I don't believe you.
Glamorous.
And his sword goes lights in radiant flame. And if you don't back off, I'm gonna chop you apart. I'm just gonna give you a little chop there and then maybe take off a little bit there and a little bit here.
Branded sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit off of your there and a little bit off the side and then cut you in half.
This is the weirdest Tuesday I've ever had. Elsa says, are you just gonna leave the skull here then?
I'm going to guard its resting place.
Didn't you just say it landed in mud and it's really awful?
I can't touch it. I can defend it though.
Don't you want me to put it in a nicer place?
That does make sense.
Right.
However, I don't think you should do it. I don't trust you.
But look, I'll get a friend.
Will you now?
He's like the nicest boy you've ever met.
Oh. Bring him on.
And Elsa flies back up. Owen!
Yeah, did you find it?
I also found a Planetar and he wants to talk to you.
Right. What do you want to talk to me for?
He doesn't want to give me the skull.
Right.
But I told him you are a nice boy and he should give the skull to you.
Okay, I don't really want the skull, but I can speak to him if you really want me to.
Well, I helped your furry best friend with his mind flare problem, so I feel like you owe me.
Who?
Makra.
I don't like Makrar.
Well, if neither you or I like him, why did we help him?
Don't really know. I mean, well, he was dying, to be fair, I mean, it's the kind of thing you'd want to do for someone. They come to you in their dying moments and they're like, you can actually help me not die, then, it's something you do.
And here I am, another one of your not friends, dying to make a profit.
It's not quite the same, though, is it, Elseth?
I feel like it's a similar level. But just talk to him. He didn't attack me with a sword and I kicked the skull, so you have nothing to lose.
Look, I said I'll talk to him for you, but I'm not promising anything here.
And we descend together. Elsa
Alright.
casts Fly on Owen and himself.
Alright, so you both reach down onto the precipice on the map, and he's slightly below you. He seems to be like standing on that precipice, maybe about 30 foot below you, and he looks up. Oh, this is the boy you're bringing. Hi there!
Hey. I heard you wanted to talk to me.
Yes, you see your friend up there, that she-elf? She's a blasphemous biatch.
I'm well aware.
Aha, so you do know.
Oh,
She's
of course.
saying that she wants to take the skull to a temple. But I don't believe her. Is she telling the truth?
Well, for the most part, I suppose she is.
For the most part? Well, you know what's funny? I just realised that I can actually detect lies. I should be using that ability.
It'd probably help you out quite a bit, I would have thought.
Yes, I should turn that on. Bling! Done!
Yes, she did say she wanted to take it to some religious folk.
Ah, okay. One moment, just going to turn on that ability.
Everything alright down there, Owen?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I think we're getting an announcement from Sainsbury's or something. I'll let you know in a moment.
Ding dong ding!
Let in.
Look, you look like a good one. Can you promise me that the skull will be delivered to a church of 4? Or at least a monument?
Are you planning to take it to Church of Thor, or...
Is there a
Anywhere
church
else?
of Thor in Mokhul?
No.
Right? Does it have to be specifically Thor or any Asgardian god?
Look, he served Thor in his life. He gave his life in Ragnarok for him. He's Ten Shanks.
If you want, I could take you to Ragnarok. I think I know a teleportation circle for there. There's bound to be a Church to Thor there.
Let's do that one then.
It seems he's going to, yes.
He looks up at you. Are you telling the truth? Are you going to give it to a church of 4?
Yeah, in exchange for money, so yeah.
He does then says, you plan to sell it? Blasphemy. You're not getting it. I'm not giving it over.
We'll give it over for free. Fine.
Are you lying?
No, Elsa expects a reward.
Okay. He says, you are not lying anymore. That's fine. You may take the skull. But know that if you dishonor Ten Shanks' memory, I will find you and I will cut a little bit there and a little bit off of there. Maybe cut you in half again.
Look, it was an accident. The idiot we had translate his grave note couldn't read it properly. We didn't know it was Ten Shanks.
Can I just say now that I'm kind of just acting like a taxi service here, and I have no part in what happens to the remains after this point.
That's fine. That's fine. You're too pretty to cut up. If anything, I'd blast you away with Flame Strike.
I did say he was a pretty boy.
I can't help my genetics, alright.
Is this angel just expecting him to come and find this skull off the side of the cliff and just return it to a church off the goodness of their own heart?
Yep. It's a planetar. What the fuck? Why wouldn't he expect that?
Planetar.
He's not only a planetar.
Let's teleport out of here.
He's glamorous.
Sorry, I missed that, Elseth. What did you say?
I have to craft myself a coffin. Let's go home.
Okay. You taking the skull?
No, you have. I don't think. Am I allowed to touch it now?
You may touch it.
Okay, Elsa flies down and grabs the skull. We can
Oh,
leave.
he like makes a jump towards you, and you kind of like he is only checking.
I like this guy.
You like this guy?
Yeah, he seems great. And it's not often you get to meet, is it wrong to call you a minion of the divine?
You may call me a minion. For now.
What's your preferred nomenclature?
His holiness. His glamorous.
Right, you are. You do seem very glamorous. Similar to someone I know very well.
You can call me Mr. Einar.
Einar.
That be my name. Yeah.
Right. Well, good to meet you, Einar.
Good to meet you too.
Oh, Owen.
Yeah, I got super confused. He was calling you Owen, and I was like, oh, that's a very Longinian name.
Well, I think she's from there, Sea's End, so accents.
Never been there.
Yeah, me neither.
No, I just kind of hang out in the heavens and stuff. That's where I'm from.
Yeah, what's it like?
Heavenly, cloudy.
Makes sense.
There is this like one thing that's a bit of a bummer. Valhalla and stuff. We are expected to kind of fight a lot. I mean, all of my friends literally drink every night, and I'm just like, can we just have a night off, please? Like, seriously, can we just like do our nails and like, maybe shave our hair? Because look, believe it or not, this is shaved. They make us do it.
They make you cut your hair.
When I was a diva, I had lustrous long locks.
What's a diva?
It's like what you are before you become me, kind of lesser version.
Oh, like a diva.
That's the one. But we call them
Right.
divas where we're from.
I mean, you do look a bit of a diva, to be fair.
What is happening? I just taken this camera spring way too far. You should probably be on your way, Ulwyn and She-Elf.
Yeah, I am starting to get bloody cold here. I mean, how'd you come here and not wear a top or something?
Oh, you're cold? Give me a second. Cast control weather. The sun begins to shine.
Huh. Well, I mean, it's a lovely gesture, but we are off now, so
Yeah, well...
thanks very much.
Yeah, what's the time? He looks up at the sun. Yes, well, I've still got another 6 hours here till I get dispelled.
Oh, well, can't really help much with that, sorry.
That's fine.
Don't have any spells to...
Don't suppose any of you got the banishment spell, no?
No.
It's fine.
Not that I know.
At least this way I get to miss out on tonight's drinking.
Ah, well, there you go. There's some positives to it, at least.
Hmm.
Yeah, it turns out I'm entirely useless for providing company to someone in a magical form, so sorry about that.
No problem. Anyway, bye.
I would say see you later, but I doubt I will.
Probably not.
Yeah,
Ready,
with
Elseth?
something. Yeah, please.
Right, off we go then.
Oh, it's all over. So yes, where are you guys going now?
Now, Elsa has to finish up the coffin.
Okay.
And I think we're out of teleports for today anyway.
No. We got teleportation circle. So we go to Gwandir's shop.
Cool.
Because you only have a teleportation circle and you're one in Longinian, if I'm correct.
Yeah, the one Lanero's made there.
Yeah. Yeah, I have that, but not one for Mokhul. So we'll go to Gwandir's shop.
Right, yeah. What about while you've been doing that, Maisie? Did you want to do anything for the evening? I didn't hear anything from you, Todd.
I don't think she does, to be fair. She stormed off from Macron, didn't she? So I think she's alright. She'll go back to these two, I guess, or presume where she's supposed to be going. She's pretty confused where she is right now, so...
Right, then I hope you don't mind me assuming you will get another night's rest. And
Wonderful.
that's that. In the morning, Elzef, your coffin is sent.
Happy days, Elaine.
Well, no, I first have to cast Clone, right? Otherwise it makes no sense.
I mean, we knew you were going to do that anyway, right? So
Yeah, I cast Clone. And I put like 500 gold pieces in there to change of clothing, right?
yeah, unlike what happened with me and my bard in the other game, fuckers, they found out where the clone was and they bloody fucking graffitied me up. I woke up. Yeah, like,
Yeah. I tell you what, Elseth,
Sorry?
I don't know if you want to chuck this in there. I'm not really got a use for it anymore. It's a ring of spell storing. I left the teleportation circle in there. So, if you do pop your clogs and you need to get back, it might be useful.
Oh, that's really useful. So just throw that in there. Any of your affections you want to put in there for safekeeping?
Of mine? No, I don't really carry a lot of stuff on me, to be honest. Just what I'm wearing.
And also puts like delivery instructions on top of it to the bank in case of lost, return to, and then both addresses in Nuneria.
Yep. So as you two, I'm assuming Maisie is there as well because you guys spent the night in Gwandia's shop. As you guys are standing by the Avbu Avenue docks, like the Avbu Avenue is where your workshop is, so it wasn't that far to actually part the coffin. Admiral Kane Chambers does approach and immediately go, "Oh yes, hello there. Oh," and then look straight at Maisie. He did it? It's you. Oh, yeah. He coughs. I come here to ask something of you and your friends. You dealt with the God King before, right?
Yes.
Wait, you guys dealt with the God King?
Yeah. Did no one mention this?
It was you guys?
Not me. I wasn't there.
Yeah, Owen wasn't there. Owen didn't do anything.
But it's how I found out about these guys, though.
Well, the only one who really
I learn more about you every day.
It was mostly Zerxel, really, and he isn't even around anymore. I can show you Zerxel's good clone.
He sounds like such a top guy.
This is why I take all the credit. Blackwater just starts poking Maisie in the head. See if he changes her accent again.
Could you back off?
Can we stop bothering the stupid girl and find out what the Admiral wants?
Yeah, I guess we could.
Hey,
I wish the near us was back.
hey, I have a favour. So while you were off gallivanting around the Crystal Wastes, something happened below the monolith. So those of magical talent.
Sorry, which monolith?
Oh yes, the moonlit shield, and he points towards the pyramid.
Carry on.
There's another.
Well, there are hundreds of monoliths all over.
Oh, I meant in the city, of course. Obviously, he doesn't know that the Watcher is one as well, but yeah. So, yes, we were. So yes, what was I saying? The people of magical persuasion felt like a kind of ripple of energy come out from the monolith, and I've been looking for. I've been looking for your father, Alwyn, because he was well known as a magical practitioner around here, and I've come across nobody of his skill yet. That's why I had to call in Grace Goldtide from Longinia, and below the monolith we found something. It was a lot of crystals, and for a brief moment, they lit up and sent out a ripple of arcane energy. And turns out there's a lot more to the Moonlit Shield than what we knew. And perhaps this is something to do with the God King, perhaps he's something to do with this. Some of the experts around the city say that these crystals that we found are actually from the Crystal Wastes. We don't know why there's so many stored down there, though.
Well, can we take a look? If I can find the near us, then maybe we could look it over.
That's perfectly fine. Grace has headed back to Longinia for now, having left her students investigating, and let me tell you, they're not doing a fine job of it.
Fair. In regards to Gwandia, he's indisposed presently.
I thought that might be the case. Anywho, I'll be obviously at the monolith when you require any knowledge or help. And then he turns to Elzef and says, if you are to load your coffin with the captain here, it will be in Atlantia within 2 weeks.
Okay. And Elzef hands over the coffin and again goes through delivery instructions.
Mm-hmm. The captain looks at you. Yeah, I know how this goes. And I don't want to open it either.
Oh no, you definitely don't want to open it. And if this thing drops over overboard, you inform me immediately.
I hope that's a reasonable roll. At least 10% chance of that ship sinking on the way there.
Look, I'm sure to be safe. I hear that the pirate lanes are now neutral because of the Morning Star's deal with the Shah. It's fine.
As Elsa, I don't know, Elsa doesn't know what our pirate symbol is. She wasn't around for that. It would have been useful to put a pirate note on there. No. Elsa hands it over just fine. Let's look at that monolith. This sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to do that now as well. I send a message to Linearis, let him know.
Linearis does respond that he'll be there.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm assuming all of you are heading over to the monolith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you get a raft from the marketplace over, you can see that there's outside a gathering amount of Longinian presence. Talking to the Admiral currently, you do see... Okay. That one, not that one. I've got Roll20 open at the moment, so trying to switch between. You do see Chion Japu talking to the Admiral. And she turns around and she immediately, "Oh yes, good morning everybody," and then walks past you with her son, gathering her arm in arm to help her walk. And the Admiral turns, "Oh, you're here. That was quick. Follow me."
Right, you are. Lead the way.
Yeah, so some of you, especially Neros and some of the others, would recognise this passage they're taking you down. It was the passage where they'd found the statue, the radioactive statue that Xerxes was looking for. Remember, they were dragging it out of this doorway. Yeah, all the soldiers, and they were all getting ill and sick. Yeah. But you walk through that doorway into a vast chamber, and the Admiral points out, well, until yesterday, or no, the day before, this place was empty, and we were using it for storage, and you can see there are some leftover crates and barrels, and he points towards an archway in the centre on the eastern wall. This appeared like out of nowhere, and as he heads towards it, you can see runes light up along the side. He goes, "Don't worry, they're harmless, they've been dispelled."
That's fine, I have a clone.
That's how I acted as my bard twice, but you know. And you head down a set of finely cut steps, and each step as you walk down lights up. The marble itself gives off bright light, and downstairs you see 3 human scholars in their late teenage years sitting at desks with lanterns and using the brief light that lights up from the ground around here and from the stairwell. And there are crystals, the exact same sort of crystals you saw in the Crystal Underdark, lots of them. And most of you do remember that when you were walking past the areas that the Illithid were, there are a lot that they were like siphoning and taking out. You're not stupid, so linking 2 and 2 together, knowing now that the Yellow Prince that controlled that colony knew of the God King as a Yellow Prince too. Perhaps they were connected somehow.
Yeah.
You see the crystals all lined up on racks. Your detect magic sight, forgot about that. You detect an illusion in the northern wall.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, illusion magic, rippling.
What's this we got over here then?
What do you mean?
I'll head over to have a look.
Yeah, so as you head over, the scholar says, yes, that was the only wall that's not got a rack on it. We just assume he used that for planning, and you put your hand for it.
It's because it's not really a wall.
What? He walks over, and as he touches it, his hand falls flat. He's like, it hits wall. It's a wall.
Yeah, but it's not a wall, you know? Trust me. Just believe it's not a wall.
The female student walks up and goes, what he means It's an illusion, and we didn't see it. Grace is going to kill us. And they both all look at you. Please don't tell our teacher, please.
I've already walked through to have a look.
Yeah. So, it's like a mirror of this side. Crystals on either side, flanking this wall. And a door. Where the stairwell was, there's now a door. And you go, oh. And at that door is just all manner of kind of arcane glyphs, all connected with very similar writing, like you saw that the Illithid used, the Undercommon, with the psychic energy between the trails, linking it all. You do see a small sleeping bag to your right, and some tools on the floor. Looks like maybe thieves' tools.
Yeah, Maisie or Lineras, either one of you polyglots. Come and read this first.
Alright, I'll take a look.
Elsif comes along and takes out the Tenshang skull and says, "Don't believe anything she reads out. She can't read for shit." and then Elsif puts back the Tenshang skull into a backpack.
What does it say, Lou?
Planitar smites you.
Well, the Panther didn't say I couldn't do pantomime with him until I return him to the temple.
Lineras.
Oh, wait for that fucking angel.
Oh, it's quite right. I can read pretty much anything.
I mean, I believe you, but I don't know how much I trust it.
Trust what?
Well, maybe your intuition of it.
Well, I'll read it verbatim if you like. Look, Laniras has been a little bit distant tonight, so maybe I should read it and then I'll let you know.
Right, okay.
I'm sure he'll turn up at some point and say something, but he said a bit. It's been a while.
Yep. I have a feeling that Arne is coming.
Oh, whatever makes you think that?
I know.
Right, we'll give it a go and we'll see how it is.
Alright. So, Maisie, as you begin using your ability to read any dialogue, it begins to shift slightly so you can understand it. It's gobbledygook.
It doesn't say feck all.
Like,
Right, see, this is why I said we get Lineras to do it.
Lineros.
Literally, it's shit. Doesn't say feck.
Lineros does say.
Wait. It does say something. It says, Gwendeth's a cockfucket. I don't know what that means.
Don't know, it's strange they can predict things though.
Okay, so Lineros does say, in Undercommon, he agrees. It says it does say gobbledygook. However, he's unable to physically feel the memories like Maisie is. And he does say, perhaps reading some of the memories on these glyphs may unlock maybe some sort of clue. However, it is gobbledygook, but it may be some sort of puzzle.
It may be some
Right.
sort of puzzle.
We'll get
Pretty
puzzling
hard.
then, and we'll take a look over here.
Lineros begins looking around, and he kneels next to the sleeping bag. He says, "This is a child's sleeping bag. Somebody small slept here." And then he grabs the thieves' tools, and then he looks at some of the marks on the wall. Looks like someone broke in somehow. Or wait, they failed to break in.
How to determine that if they're on the inside?
And he holds up the bent tools. And they didn't manage to get in. Someone was trying
But they are in. Oh, do you mean through the door?
through the door.
Right, I gotcha.
Should I try
Try what?
getting through the door?
We're trying to read the writing at the moment.
Yeah, but who gives a shit?
You know, people with sense.
Look, if I get through the door without reading the writing, we would have... What a waste of time.
Sure, you knock yourself out. Literally, maybe.
I have a clue.
I can try dispelling it, Lineros says. I do have dispel magic.
But what are you even dispelling?
As in the runes.
But we don't want to dispel it, do we? We're trying to
No.
read it.
It's true. I just
Unless
want to
I'm totally missing something and you boys have got another plan or something. But so far, there's a door. Don't even know if it's locked or not. I just want to know what it says.
The thief tools, right?
The bent thieves' tools, yeah, like the broken ones, yeah.
They're like a weird little heap of dust next to them or something, like someone got disintegrated by the door. Or...
Make an investigation check. Arne has messaged me just now. He said he won't make it, so obviously we're going to have to go without him.
What, he messaged you saying he will make it?
No, he won't.
Fuck hell. We could have assumed that.
Can you tell me what you got? Because I'm currently looking through notes on Roll20.
A 17. A 17.
Okay, yep. I'm just trying to find the name of somebody. Because I forget things. You know, all those NPCs. Okay, so looking around, no, there's no piles of dust. There's no sign of anybody being hurt.
Alsef has a knack at trying to open the door.
Okay, how are you going to go about that?
Tools.
Thieves' tools. Okay, roll thieves' tools.
I didn't know how to set up tools in this sheet itself. Just do d20 plus my bonuses.
Oh.
That's an 18 plus proficiency twice. That's plus 10, so 28. Plus, I guess, dexterity. That's 4, so 32.
Nice. All right. So immediately you begin using your thieves' tools to trace the line down the center to see if there's any gap. Being made out of some sort of marble. It's definitely it's airtight. It's got no way of unlocking it either. You begin using the thieves' tools to slowly look around and scrape parts of the runes through. And as you do, you notice that the psychic energies that join these runes rearrange. Like, they seem to shift through the channels into different runes, light up, shift back, light up. And briefly, as you touch one of the runes, Elzef, you see a very familiar figure. Laying down, confused, looking at the door. She has a hand on her chin. It's weird, you're kind of looking at yourself, but younger. And then she stands up on her hands, front flips, lands, and then she says, "How do I open you? And then you come back, flash back to you, like yourself, and you realise that your other half of your soul had been here, trying to get in this door. And you do recall that when she did work for the Faefather, part of her job was to keep an eye on the God King. So obviously she had been trying to get in this door while she was close to the God King.
Owen, I have good news.
Right, what you got?
I don't know why I said I had good news. I have bad news, actually. I can't get through the door, and I've already failed twice. Because the sleeping gag was also me.
Why didn't you just say that from the start?
Because I didn't know it yet.
That's the name I was trying to find. The name, of course, of your...
What does that even mean?
You know how my soul was split in two?
I have vague idea that was the thing that happened, yes.
Well, it happened, and the other half was here and did the thing. Or didn't do the thing, because we didn't get in.
Right, okay, that does kind of make a bit of sense. Ish.
Which
I mean,
means...
it's certainly not the least sensical thing that's happened in the last month or so, yeah, right.
I can't get in with my thief tools. What if we just get a really big hammer?
I mean, look, if we're just going to blow our way through, I'll just disintegrate the door, but I wasn't trying to get through the door. I'm trying to read the runes.
Why do you like the door that much?
What?
What you gonna do with the door? Just break it down.
I'm not going to do anything with the door. I'm trying to read what the feck it says.
Well, if you
Because I'm
don't want to-
interested.
Doesn't
You know?
say anything.
Well, say that you're interested. I didn't know you had a whole thing for figuring out riddles. I'm over here doing a crossword puzzle with my friend Tenshangs.
This could be useful information. We don't know what it is. We don't know what this place is. We've got loads of crystals from, the crystal wastes here. Just all kind of stacked up in a room. And now we've got an illusion wall. And then there's a door behind it with some runes. Maybe the runes have some useful information. And maybe we can work out what the feck is going on down here. I'm just trying to think logically about these things.
Look, Grandpa, I get it. You don't want to have your breakfast until you've done your crossword puzzle in the newspaper. I get it. Do it. I'll be over here.
Hopefully cooking breakfast. I'm fucking starving. I'll turn my attention back to the runes.
Elsif actually goes for a little walk to the market and grabs breakfast.
Adrian, I know this is a weird thing to ask because I can't remember and I've got so many NPCs. Do you remember the name of the other half of you? What was her name?
Hadar.
Hadar. Cute. Hadar Whitehorn. It's all coming back to me. Sorry. Thank you.
Look at me remembering NPC names.
So theoretically, I can't... Sorry. Theoretically, I can't understand Undercommon, obviously. I don't speak that language.
No, amazing.
Half of this language is emotion. Can I still feel the emotion?
Yes, so what the reason is, you can feel the emotion without knowing Undercommon. You can only feel the memory and see and actually read an Illithid's imprint if you know Undercommon. Maisie's ability to feel the memory is more enhanced because of her warlock ability given to her by AO.
Mm-hmm.
So, Laniros can put his hands on, feel the memory. Maisie goes there. Maisie is there. So she understands. Yeah.
Right, this one's all on you, Maisie. You best get in here and,
Well, I've been trying to say that to you for fucking hours, but it is what it is. Sure, go ahead.
Right, yeah, so, there are 6 runes on the left and 6 runes on the right. There seems to be matching pairs. However, they're not placed next to one another. Which one do you want to touch first?
Leftmost.
Right, so you... Immediately, Maisie, you find yourself in the room. While in the room, you can see there's a very pale yellow glow. And you see a robed figure with a golden mask, the God King. And in his hand, he has an orb of yellow, and he holds it up. And then you are back in your own body.
Okay. This one here. God King, I think, looks like him. Holds up an orb. Just to let you know. I'll touch the next one.
What? Oh, she's gone. Right.
Yeah, eyes roll back briefly. So the next one, you see the God King with the door open, and he's carrying crystals down the stairway. And that's basically it.
Carrying crystals down the stairs.
Right, wait for the next one.
Right.
So this, the yellow orb thing, did the door open? Is it like some kind of key or something he's got?
Lib?
It didn't look like a key. It seemed like he was knelt in front of the door. He was holding the orb up, and he was focused on the orb. The door wasn't open. However, in the second memory, the door was open, and he was carrying crystals with some sort of Tensor's floating disc down into the...
Right, so the first one he was kneeling down and looked like he was offering it up like a sacrifice. Second one, door was open and he was carrying things in like he was moving in, like it was his house.
Right. Okay, well, keep going, and I'll think on that.
Alright, next one.
Alright, so this one, Maisie, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, naughty. That's fine though, because my character list sheet loads up in less than 30 seconds flat. Constitution, yeah?
Yes, please.
Blip.
Alright, so you resist the exhaustion, but you have a hideous memory of despair, of sorrow, of absolute emptiness, of a figure so sad and so sorrowful that it hurts. And you see a room of blackness and just burning light being flung in all directions. And then you see a robed man with a golden mask fall down in tears, punch the ground, and above him, the light fades, and you just hear gentle sobs. And he just says, "My love," and then that's it.
Okay, that one was pretty dark.
Go on.
Pretty sad, crying. Says my love.
Oh,
Right
it's probably when his wife died.
Ah, I didn't know that happened. I thought he always had a wife.
Well, he's had several, well, more than several, but I think the one that he actually really, really cared for, like his first wife, she died a while back, quite a long time.
It's quite sad, actually. But
I think the voice in the sky will correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
Got to put them in like chronological order for his life.
What, so you think it is like some kind of puzzle lock to the door?
Maybe potentially. I'm not sure, but it
Well,
feels.
hold on, before we go on with that train of thought, can you move the runes?
You did see that Elzef had managed to move the energy between the channels with the thieves' tools, yeah?
Oh, I saw that, did I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I suppose you could be onto something. Well, we better get a list of all of them then, and then I'm sure me and Linneros between ourselves can work it out.
Yeah, to be sure.
I've done quite a lot of reading at the library, so hopefully we get there.
We're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break here, and then come straight back to Mr. Door Puzzle, but we'll be right back. Okay, well, we're back. So, currently, the group have... Well, Maisie has identified Hadar Whitehorn attempting to get into the door. And the Yellow King's holding up an orb in front of the door. And then him leading Crystal... No, and then the time that... Am I going in the right order here? I'm getting confused myself. Yeah, so when Hadar tried to get into the door, when he held up the yellow orb...
Carrying crystals on Tensa's disc, and when his wife died.
Got it. Yep.
Elsif shows up with croissants and hands them out.
Yeah, you couldn't have got something better.
What do you have against croissants? Are croissants not good enough for you?
Well, you know, it's only part of a breakfast.
But did you expect me to put something on it for you?
Well, I thought you'd at least get something cooked, you know.
Cooked for breakfast?
Of course.
Of course, fucking of course.
Oh, I'm sorry that you had to butt in here. Did you solve the puzzle?
We're working on it.
Okay, sure.
Go play with your tools.
Have you tried blowing up the door yet?
Yeah, good one.
No, I haven't.
I'll be over here in case you're considering it.
Do sometimes worry about her.
So let's recap. We got 4. You've touched 4 rooms, right?
We'll touch
3.
on it. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Sorry.
Right, carry on, Maisie.
Yeah, if you go in order for me once again, because I think now I've got it in the wrong order.
So we went to
Converting it.
Golden orb, carrying the disc, or Tensa's disc carrying crystals, and his wife dying.
Got it.
Well, I remember Alphadil's wife. Boy, was she a hag.
Can't say I've ever met her.
Oh, he always took her out to these public functions or whatever. She should have really worn a mask as well, I tell you that.
Yeah, I didn't really attend many public ceremonies here, you know. Spent most of my life along Ginnier, so...
I should have gone to the Colosseum, that would have been. I saw this one show where this dwarf got beaten up by monkeys.
Amazing.
I had the time of my life.
It sounds very bizarre.
Yeah, like, why would they have that many monkeys fight a single dwarf?
Stop distracting us, okay? Just
We're
go
really
eat your breakfast, play with your tools.
Maisie goes for the next one.
Alright, give me a second. I'm getting confused on my own. Shouldn't have done this in Roll20. All that time ago.
We shouldn't have done anything in Roll20 ever.
Alright, so the next one. Maisie, as you touch it, you get an image of the God King taking a deep breath down in darkness, climbing out of what looks like a container, slopping against the ground, just going, "Brother, you bastard!" And then he stands up holding a wound on his side, and then there's no wound there, but then you get flash images of a high-speed chase in the desert, of an explosion, of fights, and of the God King dying, but then being reborn down here in the darkness.
Looks like he was killed in the desert and then rebirthed himself. Shit, is that even possible?
Oh yeah, I was there for that, like the killing.
Don't say anything.
Oh my god, you're so amazing. Please, could you talk all about that right now?
Is she taking the piss? Oh,
I hope so. I really fucking hope so.
Sorry, I'll get back on track, but me and you, we'll have a chat about it later.
I think Chester wrote a shitty book about it. Just read Chester's shitty book.
Oh! You mean Dancing in the Desert by Chester Decker? This one right here. A Daring Tale.
Please read all of that to Owen.
Maybe when we have time, she'll touch the next rune.
Right. Okay, so touch the next rune and you get the memory of joy, of happiness. Alphadil stands in a blue cave and he's just recently hatched a white dragon that bounds round him like a happy dog.
I wouldn't use the analogy of dog, because I don't really think dogs look like dragons at all, but This one, it looks like he's hatched a new white dragon. Nasty evil business.
Right. Well, that doesn't ring a bell at all, unfortunately.
Let's go for the last one. Touches it.
The last one on the left side. Okay, you see magic being slung. Immediately, there's magic. He stands in an open swamp. Around him, trees are blasted. On the opposite, an elvish figure dressed in regal gold robes that are ruffled from his explosions makes a gesture with her hand and flings a spell towards her son. He deflects it with a counter spell and immediately sends forth blue flame from his hands. And he says, and he screams something out loud at her. "You're not my mother!" before teleporting away.
Spell fight. Looks like a maternal problem.
Right.
Gets angry.
Fight with the ex-seer.
Maybe. I don't know who that is.
Most countries' leaders really have mummy problems.
I got a vague recollection. I think I read a little about it. Maybe. We'll come back to it.
Alright, so right side, right?
Okay.
Goes to the next one. Leftmost, right side.
Right. Wait a second. So you see Alpha Dill, unmasked, going about his usual day's business. He's bored, a little stressed. That's the emotion you get. Until he returns to his chambers and finds a yellow-robed figure standing in the mirror, but not in his room. He approaches, tense. He looks out across his empire out the window, looks back, fire in his hands, ready to fight. Is this an assassin? There's fear. But then the creature reaches out and he feels calm. That's it.
Little paranoid, little strange. Something visited him while he was looking out over his city.
Doesn't ring any immediate bells.
No, me neither. I didn't get a look at it either. Just a peripheral of the view.
Right.
Right, next one.
The next one, you see a small horned girl. She clambers down from an air vent, lands in an open chamber. And in the middle, there's a large cylindrical object. She runs her hands across it, gives a smile, and then she corrupts the magic within. The arcane warhead's about to be launched. She knows this. But she corrupts it, so it doesn't kill the people. It will only petrify them.
Whew. Some nasty stuff here. Some kind of super weapon. Looks like it was diluted by something. A child? Small girl.
Thebo.
And me.
What?
Or the other half of my soul.
That was you?
Yeah, if you really think about it, this means I've saved Thebo twice.
Looks like Elsev's the kind of person who will write something down and claim she's done something when she hasn't. I despise those kind of people.
He can get annoying.
Aye.
Right, good to know though, Elsef. You can fill the gaps on that one then. Right,
Okay.
let's move on.
Should get a statue in Thebo.
Go on for the next one, Liam, sorry.
Alright, so you see the God King walking down these steps, the doors close behind him, the arcane runes snap shut. He walks into the darkness below, begins casting a spell, reaches his consciousness across 1,000 kilometers. Somewhere, deep in a swamp, you see hovels, swamp dwellers, lizard folk, and a giant conservatory nestled on a cliffside. And then a huge illusion of himself appears as he casts his spell, and he begins to speak. "Greetings, citizens of Port Phobos. You do not know me, but I know of you. I am your God King. For too long you have existed as an anomaly outside of the Empire, forever lost to its benefits due to an outdated racist queen, mired in old hatreds. This goes on until eventually he mentions that, "I will give you a gift, citizens of Port Phobos, to come home, to come into the flock, Soon, my ship, the Reaper, will be docking at your port. Go to Captain Gravewarden and receive your pardon. Join my navy as privateers and continue doing what you've always done. Now just do it against my enemies. Your enemies. Do it legally and earn more plunder. And it ends.
Oh.
Elsef, Macro, obviously. If you mention that word.
He was talking to some kind of shithole. Said something about receiving a pardon when his boat arrived. A port.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'll stop you there. Chester told me about that one. I think it's in one of his books, actually. It's Port Phobos.
Oh, yes.
That awful ship of his, the Reaper. You know, back then they had a... I handed in a design for his flagship, and they didn't take my design because I called the
Wait,
guy
you
who
were
was
there?
having it into a cunt. And they went with this awful ship design. Horrible. Mine would have been 1,000 times better.
You do impress me, I have to say. I've got new respect for you after the last couple of runes.
I don't want to talk to Macy anymore. Can she just... I'll be in another room. I don't know how to take anything she says. It's awful.
I'll see you later. We'll miss you.
What warm breakfast did you want, Owen?
You know, like a proper cooked breakfast. Like a Longinian breakfast.
Oh, a Longinian breakfast. They are quite good.
Longinian cuisine is awful, but I'll get you something just to get away from Macy.
Alright,
Look,
so...
I'll tell you what. I'll do your teleportation over there. You find your own way back, but bring us a good breakfast.
To Longinia?
Yeah.
To be sure.
Go to the library there. I'm sure they'll send you back. It might cost you a little fee, but let me know what it is and I'll pay for it.
Just go through my workshop. Just send me to my workshop.
How can I send you just... Oh, right. You mean the one in Longinia?
Well, the one here where I have a gate to Longinia.
Right, we'll eat the fucking one. Just go to Longinia and get me a bloody breakfast.
You're awfully in a mood to argue today, Owen.
I'm trying to concentrate here, and you keep bringing up all these stories about ships and your wonderfulness, and it's not really helping me.
So, a Longinian breakfast.
Thank you.
And I guess Elsa gets teleported away and goes to buy Longinian breakfast.
Yeah, I'll do a teleportation circle to the workshop.
Wow.
What's that? That's level 5 spell.
This version of Macy is, I think, the one Elsa least knows how to deal with.
What, the one that's actually rational?
No, the one where she has no idea if she's taking the piss or not.
Right, now we've got that sorted. What's the next one?
Alright,
Right.
Maisie.
And she does the next one.
Alright, so you touch the next rune. You get the image of a large, kind of sickly green statue shaped in a dragon. And it stands on a dais of some sort. And the God King steps up and with magic begins draining energy from it, drawing it down into a container. And then he walks past the door that you're currently looking at, down into the steps with it.
Alright. He's looking down some steps. Ring a bell?
Oh, it's the steps in front of you.
Not with
Yeah.
that.
Like I said, like
Anything else?
you could, Maisie, you recognise the room. It's the room you're in, because this is where the radioactive statue had been stored and was being dragged up. It looks like he drained magic from the statue in this room with the crystal stack nearby, and then took it downstairs. And you realise that the container looked like it was made of some sort of glowing crystal, very similar to the one stacked up beside you.
Alright, so he's here. He's gone down there and he's done something I'm not quite sure of. He looks like he's sucked something out.
Sorry. Can you be more specific on that one?
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
I dare to ask this, but what's he sucking?
Magic out of some kind of statue.
What's the statue?
What's the statue name, sorry?
It's like a sickly pale
Dragon.
green metal dragon, yeah.
Like some kind of sickly pale green dragon.
Well, the only dragon statue I know is, I've heard of in association with the God King, was from the swamp purges of 952. Liam to confirm the dates.
very close, but that's 962.
962.
Because you're currently in 964.
Okay. I'm guessing here.
Oh, wait.
I've got a vague recollection of
I'm
the
confused.
timeline.
I'm pretty sure it's 964 currently, and Xerxil's Swamp was eradicated 2 years ago. So
It's hard to say when you're playing in like 3 campaigns in this world and they're all in different fucking timelines.
Yeah. Yeah, I say let's go in 964.
Right. I think it might relate to that, but I'm not 100% sure. It's the only recollection I can think of a dragon statue in History of the God King.
And I'm going to be nice here, generous GM. You did actually see the dragon statue where Xerxil was buried, because remember, it was dragged back to his swamp in honour of him. And everyone... Remember, it was on one side of the swamp, and all of you were on the other side, like, stay the fuck away from that thing.
Do we just have to order all of these chronologically?
Don't know. Right, what's the next one? We got a lot to get through here.
Right, I'll have a look. She presses the button.
Okay, can you make a Constitution saving throw?
Yep. Not good. There's a couple of those embedded in there. Oh, I love Foundry so much. Oh my god!
Yeah, nice. Alright, so immediately, fear. Not from the emotion of the rune, but from you. You stand in a desolate field. Sticks that were once... burnt out sticks that were once trees, gone. The sky is a purplish dark bruise. Around you, there are these metallic structures made out of sickly green metal. And inside, growing from them like bulbous fruit, are amber liquid capsules. Inside, you see naked humanoids. And then you turn, and the entire land is filled with them. And you see there are small illithid-like creatures crawling along these infinitely tall and infinitely wide farming fields, tending to them.
Okay, so... I'm not quite sure how to describe this one. Looks like squid faces. But in the field, right?
Right.
It's difficult. Any kind of understanding of this kind of culture?
Yeah. Not a great deal, to be honest. I mean, we know that he has some kind of connection to the Illithid colony that we saw in the Crystal Underdark, but other than that, I don't know.
Okay.
Let's move on. There's a few that we're not too sure on, so let's carry on and see what we find.
Alright. Is it the last one now she's going to press?
Yep.
Go for it.
Okay. You find yourself in a dark room lit by a yellow light from above. There's a table. Immediately you recognise Nanny. She sits at one side, almost to the slant, like slanted to the side, comfortable, at ease. To her left, you see the God King, Alfadil, his mask on. He's sat. This round table is small, but it has figures on it. The Yellow Prince that you killed in the Crystal Underdark sits opposite Nanny, upright, almost militaristic. And there seems to be a man in robes. It's like half slanted on the chair, leg up on the table, just going tick-tock, tick-tock. He's late. He should be on the clock. And then a man walks out of the shadows. There's like a fade kind of woof. And he wears a circlet of gold. He's elvish. He looks slightly haggard. His eyes are sunken. And he puts one hand on the side of the chair, moves it aside with a screech, and sits down, looks across the table, and in a raspy voice, "You're the new one, eh? How can we trust you?" The God King begins to speak. "I want this more than anybody." "Who do you now?" says the one in the robe, stands up, begins casting and throwing flame between his palms. And the Illithid, the Yellow Prince, nods. "I can vouch for him. The construction goes well." The elf nods. How close to completion? And then Alphadil begins to say, 5 more weeks, at most, and it'll be ready. And then the memory fades.
Alright, a meeting of some kind. Some mad guy controls flames. Ring any bells?
Can't say that it does, no.
Elvish guy turns up, circlet of gold. Looks like a proper prick.
Kind of, I don't know. It rings vague bells, but not sure.
Right. The God King was there, and so was a squid face, and the squid face said he vouched for him and that they were building something.
Did they say what they're building?
Nope. Got bad vibes though. Especially off that fucking the 2 elven cocks. Look
Right.
like proper knobbish personalities.
Anyone else?
Not that I could see.
Not even Nanny.
Oh, Nanny, yeah, shit, she was there. Fuck, she
Oh,
was
Nanny! She was there.
fucking Nanny was there. She was awful.
Oh, so they did know each other then.
Like some of the high and mighty were in the same room.
Well, can't say
Nanny
much
was
about
there.
that one.
Said that straight away.
So that's all of them then.
That's it. Chronological order, what did you think?
You think that's what would open the door then? Some kind of puzzle relating to that.
I'm not quite sure. We can definitely change the flow between these here runes. And these runes definitely pertain to memories, right?
They seem to, yes.
So if I want to hazard a guess, I would say we rearrange them in some kind of way that enables them to be in order. And that should pop the door open.
Right. Well, let me have a think on it. There's a few that I definitely don't recognise, but some I could probably place in the timeline.
Right you are. I've been in a ice cube for the last few years, so I'm going to be pretty useless here, but I'll help out where I can. My
Sure.
intelligence is quite acute at the moment, actually.
Good. Laniros, he's always good with history as well, so we'll put our heads together and we'll figure it out.
Damn it, aren't I? Like, obviously the GM knows, but I gotta act as Arne knowing it's confused. Oh, there's Laniros. I'll just do rolls.
Yeah, that's all we need.
I mean, Elzif was there for some of it as well, so she can do rolls if she wasn't off getting breakfast.
Yeah, but we don't trust her, so...
To be fair, so was Macra. Macra was there for most of it.
Oh, we definitely
Where
don't
is
trust
Macro?
Macro.
Oh, he's there. He's disappeared on my screen.
He is there in the... with you guys.
Alsif is just running through the streets of New Nira right now, trying to get breakfast to this fucking place before it gets cold.
Well, I guess we all sit down, I suppose, and try and figure this out, which I assume would mean we'll get whoever has the highest history to roll it with advantage.
Shit ton of history, I think. +8.
Yeah,
Plus
mate,
10.
as well. I think Laniros is probably the highest.
Yeah, Laniros is +10.
I have +10.
Yeah, but
Oh,
we don't like you.
Maisie hits a 23.
Or should we all just roll for
Yeah.
seeing
Let's
what we
roll.
can chuck into it?
Sure. Macra, I'm going to give you advantage because you were there for quite a lot of it.
Okay, now.
Can you roll for Laniros,
Well,
please,
yeah.
Liam?
Yep.
Do I have any spells?
We have Maisie with 23, Orwin with 22, Laniros with 17.
Should we discount Maisie on the fact that she was a block of ice for this whole time?
Yeah, but you actually get a lot because you you were there. Relive the memories.
The parts of her may or may not know as well, to be fair.
Yep. Alright, so you're all getting, especially Orwin and Maisie, are getting the idea that perhaps he, like Maisie as well, you mentioned to Orwin that he looked very young when he hatched that baby dragon. And then Macrob joins in and says, well, you know, I'm assuming you're going to say that you killed that dragon when it was an adult. Quite an old memory.
Oh shit, yeah, so it did. Killed that one already.
So that has a good chance of being the lowest. And some of you know that his fight with his mother was 150 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's easily one of the lowest as well. Followed shortly by his contact with the King in Yellow in the mirror, because it looked like the new Nerian city had just been conquered, which was almost 150 years ago as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 3 right there.
Elsef, the elf who was actually there for all of that. Not, not around, currently getting breakfast. What is a Longinian breakfast?
Yeah, hash browns,
I'm gonna
beans,
assume it's
black
a fry
pudding.
up, yeah.
Yeah, because it's based on London, Longinia, so...
Greasy black pudding.
Yep. So you got those 3. Do you want me to give you the numbers for that?
What do you mean the numbers?
Or, like, they're currently numbered 1 to 6 on the left and 7 to 12 on the right.
I mean,
Numbers,
I don't know.
What do they mean?
Unless you've got like a layout with all these things that we can rearrange and look at, we're just going to have to go on rolls and a bit of intuition.
I actually do have that, but it's very notey, if you know what I mean. Like, they're just notes.
Tokens in front of me that I can rearrange.
I'm very confident I've paid enough attention throughout this entire campaign that I could instantly get it right.
Out there. Okay, give me a second. I'm just splitting the handout up so the answers aren't on the same thing. I will share the note with you.
Yeah, if there's a way for them all to pop up on the screen or something, that'll be ideal.
There is, however, trying to find a way to show it, because bearing in mind, I don't know how to do all this. Show it to players.
Oh, that's no good.
Does it actually come up? I don't know what it says.
It does come up, yeah. Can you make this editable?
I can give you your own note.
Yeah, just so it can be like copy and pasted to the right order.
I have no idea how to do it. Boundary, yo. I don't know how to do it yet. Oh wait, yeah I do. Duh. There you go. You are now the owner of Notes for Party.
Okay.
Oh shit, we're gonna have to drag all the party over here as well.
When did the Methuselah die? I assume anyone with history would know this.
She died before the whole bomb stuff went off. She got killed before
6-4?
She atomic bomb stuff.
That was before the Port Phobos speech, wasn't it?
No, it was before the Port Phobos speech. And it has to be before the time Hadar finds the arcane bomb.
You what, sorry?
It has to be before 8, the time Hadar finds the bomb. Hadar manipulated the bomb after he decided to retaliate.
Yeah.
And I assume the suggestion is he drained energy from the dragon statue to make the bomb? Now the question
Don't know, but that was definitely before both of those two because that was a couple of years ago.
Right, so he had the bomb already made. I think the last thing chronologically that happens is him returning from being killed. So that's 4. 4 is the last number.
Isn't that the one when he died from the desert?
Yeah, that's when he returned home from being killed. That's the 4, yeah.
12 would be quite late as well, though. Possibly later than 4.
Was that after Port Phobos speech?
No, 12 seems like he was relatively new to being part of the whole Yellow King stuff. So I don't think that's...
I would have said it genuinely, but then again, I'm very, very wrong quite often.
Well, he said it was 5 weeks before he finished the thing. Do we assume he did actually build a thing and we don't know where it is, or do we assume he wanted to finish the thing?
Well, I'm assuming we're going to find out the thing when we open this door.
So I think that's relatively early chronologically.
Which one? Because
12.
you started with number 4 and then you've just gone
12.
off on a tangent there.
4 is the last thing that happens.
I don't know what number 12 is because I'm cutting and pasting these.
12 is the meeting between the 4 evil people. The 4 yellow...
Alright, hold on. Yeah, I've got both notes up now.
Unless 11 is the last thing and we've seen a vision of the future, in which case...
Maybe.
Or do we assume that's what he wants to happen?
Well,
Anyway, can we do number 4? Because that should be relatively simple. Did the fight in the desert when he was killed happen after the Phobos speech or before? After.
We went from Phobos to the desert.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty much immediately after once at the desert.
And before that, it should be 8.
What's number 8? The time Hadar finds the arcane bomb.
And I think before that, 3, Methuselah dying.
So hold on. Hadar is before the Port Phobos speech, yeah?
Yeah, because she had to manipulate...
Hadar bomb. When he with his mother and the White Dragon.
The White Dragon, we assume, is the earliest thing. I think it's just 5, 6, 7 in that order. Because those are all from roughly 150 years ago. We don't know if the dragon happened before or after the fight with his mother.
Have we gained anything with our history checks, Liam? On 4, 5, and 6? Actually, no, hold on.
On 5 and 6.
4, 5, and 6.
Right.
So
Not 4, 5, and 6. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I'm looking at the wrong one.
Just 5 and 6. Do we know if he hatched the dragon first, or if he had the...
see, this actually comes in handy, because Macro, you do remember some of the notes that Gwendith and Chester uncovered. You do remember them slightly recalling that the baby white dragon, the sanctum, the iceberg sanctum, was his hideaway after he'd fallen out with his mother.
Okay, so we know the fight with his mother is first. It's 6, 5, and then 7.
Yeah, that was the one where he was like, bitch, up his monster in the iceberg.
Okay. Do we assume the yellow orb is after the first contact with the Yellow King?
Yeah.
And we assume the crystals being carried is after the yellow orb?
Yes. Because of the door.
And I assume what he's building... this must have happened after 12, after the meeting. Because on the meeting,
the meeting we think is after crystals being carried. Yes,
I think it's before the yellow orb, actually.
Even though he said that he was already building it.
Oh yeah, you're right. He did say.
Crystals.
He didn't
After
say
crystals,
he didn't say he was going to build it in 5 weeks. He was saying he was already building it. It would be done in 5 weeks. So yeah, you're right.
The building was going well.
All of those happen after he returned home from being killed.
No, I don't think so. I think all of that happens before before the Methuselah dying.
Okay, before Methuselah dying, after the dragon statue?
Yeah, I think after the dragon statue. Well, I
after
don't
the
know.
fight.
I don't know if.
Okay, so when do we think the Visions of the Dark World was? Do we recognise that from anything, or do we think that's a future occurrence?
I think that's like what they're working towards to, right?
Okay, let's put that. Alright. I've saved an order, Liam, in the notes for party. We'll go
Alright.
with that to start off with.
You want me to compare it?
Is it when that's going to happen though? Is it when that's going to happen though, or is it when he had the visions?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? I don't see anything in notes for party.
No, I've saved
yes,
it.
I see it.
I just see like empty 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello?
Hey,
Hello.
I got like a load of
And
lag
back in the room.
out of nowhere. I don't know what that was about.
I got a reload as well, but only on Foundry.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just empty.
Yeah,
but
it is, because
that-
I've been
that is
copying and
good.
pasting, like cutting and pasting to get it in order.
I think Liam wants to connect the numbers.
Oh, I
no
see.
chance of connecting the number. I've just put them in order, cut and pasted into order.
Yeah, well, I've got the answer in numerical order. Fuck's sake.
I think the only thing I'm unsure about is the draining from the radioactive dragon statue.
Alright, let me start then. Okay, so the first one you've got is the fight with his mother. Okay, you move that. Who's actually doing the movement? Moving of the arcane energies?
Maisie, I assume? She has the
Yeah, she can do it.
easiest connection with it.
I assume this took some time, and Elsef shows up with the hash browns and stuff.
Yep.
Oh, it's about bloody time.
Right, so Maisie, you begin moving them, I'm assuming.
This one goes here, and that one goes there.
Okay, so the first two lock into place.
Alright,
The
we got
third one doesn't, yeah?
Let me. Nope. And immediately you are zapped with lightning damage. You take a total of 11
Is this
lightning
a spell?
damage.
Cunt.
No, it's like a glyph of warding, but
So
Okay.
it's a spell.
yeah, I guess.
I'll counter spell it for her.
Okay, but then immediately the runes reset.
I think the draining energy from the radioactive dragon statue becomes after Methuselah dying, between 12 and 13.
By reset, do you mean they've all scrambled around again?
No, they
Wait.
don't. No.
Okay, good. So,
Did he wear his mask for the dragon statue bit? Or was he young looking?
Well, for the dragon statue, he wore his mask.
Okay, I think that's after Methuselah dying when he's preparing the warhead.
alright.
You think
Good.
the draining of the statue is after the Methuselah dying?
Yeah, I think he specifically did that to make the atomic bomb he was gonna blow up.
Even though he nicked it 2 years prior.
Yeah.
Oh, it's entirely possible, but I don't know. Okay, alright, well, we'll go with that then, I guess.
Right, you are.
You know when we inevitably get the answers to these wrong, do we know what happens?
Yeah, Macy
Yeah.
gets shocked.
Do we all get blown up?
They get
just
blown
Macy gets
up.
shocked.
Daisy.
Adara is making some kind of attempt to cast a lightning bolt of some kind, but I'm standing by to stop it.
I do
Macy, if you get brain damage
it sounds
from
like
this,
it.
just tell us. Make like an sound or something, okay?
Alright. I don't think that's very kind, but I'll let you know. Maisie tries again. You know, I don't think Elsef likes me very much. I can't imagine why.
Don't think she likes many people, to be honest.
She seems so dark and angry. Has she tried counselling?
Alright, cool. So you're going to continue on with the current order, yeah?
Yeah.
If everyone else is in agreement.
Just give me a second.
I think there's a few we'll have to switch around depending on to when it locks in.
So the first 4 runes work. However, the 5th one goes to zap Mamie.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll cast again.
Oh, you fucking bastard!
Okay, so do we assume that's because the meeting is before the crystal's being carried, or is that because the radioactive dragon statue is before the crystal's being carried? Or did he have the visions of a dark world first?
I don't know.
Well, it does what, like 11 damage or something to Maisie? Let's just try some of the stuff.
So we've got Yellow Orb up to there confirmed, and
Yeah.
then Crystals is definitely not right. So
Potentially something happened in between. Let's have a look.
put the dragon statue there, maybe.
Yeah, let's just insert the dragon statue.
I think. Yeah, he's drained. Yeah, Yellow Orb, then drains, then he carries the crystals in, has the meeting. Fuck it.
Put some funds into his 401k.
Yeah, I'll keep the counter spell ready and we'll just keep going.
Alright, okay. So after taking it, I'm assuming you counterspelled the next one then.
Is it happening?
Yeah. I mean, she's about to be shocking touched, yes.
Yes.
Alright, cool. I won't bother clicking it then.
Okay, so the dragon statue is not after the orb. Let's put the meeting after the orb.
Macro confers with his ancestors. Looking at what Maisie's doing, does it look like something he now has the ability to do as well? With his
you can't understand the language, so you can only feel the emotion from the you can't actually understand the visions.
Oh.
Yeah, same with Lineros. Lineros can understand, see the visions and feel the emotion, but
What about with a comprehend language spell?
yeah, with comprehend language spell, yeah. Alright, is it
What about Macro starts casting comprehend languages as a ritual?
Okay. You begin conferring with your ancestors. However, we're going to go in the order. So you've gone with the fight with his mother.
Doesn't use a spell slot, does it? If it's a ritual, does it?
No. Alright, so let me continue. So the fight with his mother, correct. When he hatched the baby white dragon, correct. The first contact with the Yellow King, correct. Receiving the Yellow Orb, correct. The meeting between he and Dolaf and Ali Aiden, correct.
Okay.
Draining energy from the radioactive dragon statue. She gets statched.
This fucking dragon statue! Okay, let's put the crystals being carried. I put the statue after the Methuselah dying.
Dragon statue back to after the Methuselah dying.
I think the dragon statue is like a red herring, and it has nothing to do with what he was doing for the Yellow King. It was strictly just to make the bomb. To fuck over Theo.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I had that one originally. No, it's not. I had it before the Methuselah dying.
Are you going with the current order? I'm assuming you counterspelled the shocking touch on Maisie.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I run out of...
Spell slots.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the next one. Alright, so the fight with his mother, correct. When he hatched the baby white dragon, correct. Maisie, you begin moving fast this time. More confident in your answers at the start. The first contact with the Yellow King in the mirror, correct. The Yellow Orb as he contacts the Yellow King for the first time himself, correct. A meeting between he, Dolaf, Arliade, and Nanny, and the Yellow Prince, correct. Crystals being carried, correct. It was around about that time that they planned to invade the Crystal Underdark. Very correct. Then the Methuselah perishing some years later. Correct.
Ah.
Draining the energy from the radioactive dragon statue for the bomb. Correct. Haydar
Xerxes will be so pissed off that they nicked that fucking dragon statue and sat on it for 2 years.
Yep. Wow. The time Haydar found the arcane bomb. It is correct. And The speech at Port Phobos when Lord Gravewarden was killed by Grildar. Correct. When he returned...
he wasn't only killed by Grildar.
I know. Makra was pretty involved. When he returned home from being slain in the desert after the Tomb of Mistra. Correct. And then the last rune slots into place. Visions of a dark world of people sleeping in liquid orbs. Correct. And as the last one floods in, they all move into one, becoming a target-looking green glyph that spreads out to the rest of the door. And then it parts. Revealing a dusty darkness below.
Are you having your moment of euphoria, Owen? Was this worth it to you?
Oh, of course it was. And this breakfast was well worth it as well.
Let's look inside.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Don't know
Okay.
what you're apologising for.
Yeah,
Morgan is having the time of his life. He has the biggest erection he has had in months.
he does like something.
Yeah.
Like this. He does like little puzzles like that.
I'll say that's the most excited I think I've ever seen Mike playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Alright, so who's going first?
Well, now that you've said that, definitely not me.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Mike roll. No.
Okay, so the first thing you notice is as you're walking down the steps...
We got the temporary hit point.
You do have the temporary hit points from Maisie, yes. Okay, I'm going to continue. You do... As you begin to walk down these steps...
Is killing me.
Oh my god, it's killing me every time you interrupt me. I know it's not your fault. That wasn't meant to be aggressive. Sorry, dude.
Wait on.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, so as you walk down these stairs, pipes, maybe about 12 or 15 steps down, pipes begin coming out of the walls. Golden kind of pipes that are kind of like almost kind of bronzish in light. And they disappear down and then spread outwards as you walk into an open air. You can tell it's open air and large because you just feel that. And the moment your footfall hits the marble, it echoes outwards. Who's got... Laniros has got quite good dark vision, but Maisie, you've got the Devil's Sight, correct?
Yep.
Just on the edge of your vision, you see something mechanical. It rises up maybe 25 feet, and you see all these small white, kind of like, in your grayscale, they're kind of white windows all along, like portholes in front of you.
Just if it makes a difference, anytime we're in dark places, Owen will probably cast light because he is a filthy human.
Yeah, you do cast light. Of course, it gives you about 40 foot of decent sight. Yep, okay, Macro casts Long Strider. And you're in a very vast expanse, but to your right, with Devil's Sight, Macy, just at about 50 foot, so those of you dark vision can see it as well, there is a stone altar or desk in an L shape that comes out maybe about 10 feet and then 10 feet again. On it, you can see all sorts of contraptions, alchemical apparatus. There's a scroll on one side of the table with two stones either side to keep it open. Above you, the pipes disappear into the vaulted monolith ceiling. And up there, just outside of your vision, Alwyn, but you can see it with Detect Magic, there are faint glows of evocation and then abjuration, and then all different types of magic being taken through these pipes. And they keep disappearing 60 foot out of your sight towards inside the hall.
Well, there's definitely something interesting going on here. Some kind of magic flowing through these pipes.
Currently, you're just huddled near the entrance at the bottom. Not assuming you're moving.
Let's head in.
Alright, so you guys begin to move in, and the light above you lighting up the area. However, Maisie, can you make a perception check?
Yes, indeed. Let me just reload Foundry, because it's being a bit sneaky.
Oh no, Foundry stumbled already.
I
Do you know the worst
it's keep
thing-
reloading at the moment, that's all it is, but it takes 2 seconds, perception check.
Yep.
To load that character sheet, so it's so worth it. Oh, naughty.
There's definitely something on the edge of your vision. It's large and humanoid shape. That's all you can see.
No, Owen, the worst thing about these giant underground caverns is that obviously he doesn't tell anyone about them, and they actually endanger other building projects in the city if they don't know about these. Like, imagine someone built a basement that was just buried into this thing.
Oh, I can only imagine the problems that would cause for the city council. You fucking idiot. He continues on, curious about where these magical pipes flow.
Alright, so it takes a while to walk. I'm assuming you're going not fast, and you're going slow and careful. And then you all... You all begin to hear, unmistakably, the sound of metal grinding on metal behind you and to your left and right. And then there's a brief flash and lights begin to...
Sorry, I couldn't help
No, that's alright. Magical lights activate all around you. And immediately the darkness that's just suddenly gone makes most of you blink your eyes. And to your right and left, you see golems. Golems with huge iron swords in their hands. They activate. There's a yellow glow in their eyes. To your right and left, and then behind you, falling from the ceiling, hanging on chain, 3 iron golems activate.